This, I would like to say, this has been one of the hardest stories that I've ever had to cover, one of the hardest topics that I've had to cover, and it has been something that we cannot just let go by. You know, it's a shame that this situation, her story is not being covered on a lot of news stations. You would think this would go, you know, national, this would be on national news, but it's unfortunate. So us as the, you know, trucking community, we have to stand up and we have to be the voice for Karmeshia Thomas, and we have to spread her situation and let all of the female drivers know that you need to be aware of what's going on out here, what took place at the Mardi Gras Truckstop. And we are asking that all women, all drivers, do not go to this truck stop, because as you guys can see, and from that little review, you can see what kind of environment is going on at this particular truck stop. Besides that, women, no matter what truck stop you are at, I would like to share with you guys that I am 26 years old. I just turned 26, so we were almost the same age. So and she's a female driver. I looked on her Facebook page and I started reading how she was just, you know, like the average female driver, just out here trying to work hard and trying to make money. She was talking about how she wanted a 1-bedroom apartment, and she stated, I just want a 1-bedroom apartment, something simple. So she just was a hard-working woman that wanted to get out here in the trucking industry and make something of herself. And she never, you know, I'm sure her family as well, never anticipated or never expected this situation to take place with her. So it really just, we're at a standstill. We're, as females drivers, we're at a standstill. We want to know what took place. We have already reached out to her family, and shout out to the BCH family and all of our trucking divas. We've already been raising funds, working together to raise funds for Karmeshia's funeral arrangements, in whatever way that we can chip in and put our heads together. But one of our main concerns that we have to talk about, this situation cannot be avoided. The topic has to be discussed, and since no one else is discussing it, we have to put it forth, and that is safety and awareness for our female truck drivers. I'm 26 again, and I drove solo over the road as a female driver, and I remember one of the things that made me start to open my eyes and pay attention to what was going on is because I started getting letters, you know, as I'm a girly girl, as you guys all know, but I started getting letters that were placed on my truck. Like I would wake up in the morning or whatever, and I would have notes, different notes from random people that they would just sit on my truck stairs or in the door handle, whatever, and I had to come to face it and say, hey, you're not at home, you're not in the comfort of your own home anymore. You have to take necessary measures to make sure that you protect yourself as a female driver. So I just looked around, because as you guys, some of you guys don't know this, but I also used to be a firearms instructor where I taught different citizens the personal protection and the use of firearms in your home. So as a trucker, some of us, you know, talking about firearm safety and trucking is a very, you know, broad subject, because we don't know all of the laws. We don't know all of the laws, but we don't know, there are certain states that you can and cannot carry your firearm into. So as a female trucker going over the road, that was a big, you know, step, something I had to face, whether I wanted to take my firearm over the road with me to protect myself. That was something that I did a lot of research into. And so what I want to bring to you ladies, different options. I also did a video. I did a video talking about things that you can use inside of your truck and things, you know, to protect yourself, how you can lock and make sure that your doors are secure. I'm going to be dropping the link to that video in the description box. But I want you ladies to know, do not let this situation discourage you from joining the trucking industry. I have female truck drivers right now, students that are in class training right now, and hearing this story, they are at a standstill. They don't know whether it scared them, you know. They don't know whether they want to continue this, and how can you give them, it takes a brave woman alone. It takes a brave woman to step into the trucking industry. You know, this is not for everybody, so it takes a brave woman to step into the industry. So for a situation like this to take place, it has put women, it's almost like we're taking steps back, because we're at a standstill right now. The trucking industry and women empowerment and getting females to join the industry has been a major success. You know, we've been working together, showing each other how to, you know, operate the trucks, and how to function as professional drivers. And for a situation like this to happen, where a young female, for her body to be discovered in her truck, it has put a freeze on women drivers, and we are concerned about our safety. So women, this video is not to discourage you. We are still waiting on the details to find out what took place. So again, we're asking you to stay away from the truck stop, the Mardi Gras truck stop, and we're also asking you to be aware of your surroundings. Me personally, I do not get out of my truck at night. I make sure you get everything that you need at night. Try to do everything in the daytime. Do not get out of your truck at night, and make sure you secure your truck. No place in this world is safe for anyone, not even in the comfort of your own home. You never know who's watching you. And again, drivers, we're the eyes and ears of the road. You never know who's watching you. Usually drivers are seeing you. So that's one of our concerns, is like, did anybody see this? Did anybody see her? But ladies, again, make sure you are aware of your surroundings when you get up in the morning, when you do your safety, your pre-trip inspections. Make sure that you do it in well-lit areas. Make sure you're not walking around your truck between trailers. It can be very dark when you're trying to pre-trip your truck early in the morning. It's very dark, and you don't know, you know, people come from different walks of life, so you don't know what's going on or what may take place or who's watching you. So make sure you cover yourself and you stay in well-lit areas. Do not get out of your trucks at night at rest stops. You know, sometimes it's hard to find parking places as a truck driver, but make sure you do not get out of your truck. A lot of times women have new students, they have concerns about where going to the restroom or not, you know, the whole situation within your truck. If you have to use, you know, take measures inside of your truck, then do that. But by all means, do not get out of your truck, because I've noticed, even though I'm a girly girl and I get out of my truck to go into when I used to go to the trucks, into the truck stops, you don't see me wearing pink. I used to put on a hoodie, black clothes, and I walk to the truck stop to get whatever I need and get back, because as a female, you are preyed on by these evil individuals, and you need to make sure that you never that you are always aware of yourself. We carry, as in my video you'll see, we carry pepper spray. You can use tools that you pre-trip your truck with. We carry hammers, we carry tasers, whatever you have to do to protect yourself. It doesn't have to be a firearm, but you need to make sure that you are taking measures to protect yourself. Lock your doors. Make sure when I'm in my truck and I'm parked for the night or whatever, I like to look in. Drivers sit in their front seats all the time and they're looking around, they're doing whatever in their front seats. I don't sit in my front seat of my truck at nighttime. I close my curtains and make sure that I don't want to be seen that often. Now, when I'm in a truck stop, also another thing you want to do as a female is you want to make sure that somebody, I don't care who it is in your family, you want to make sure somebody knows where you are parked and where you are safe at night. Even if you don't call them, and it doesn't have to be a long conversation, even if you can just send them a text message and say, hey, this is where I'm gonna be at for the night, and this, I'm shutting down. Because out here on the road, sometimes you don't hear from your family, sometimes you don't hear from them for a few days, but you still have to cover yourself. Every time I go out of town, I don't care if it's on a business trip or whatever it may be, I make sure I send a text message or maps, address, location to my brother, my mom, whoever. So female drivers, even if you can send it, if you have another female driver that you can send it to every single night when you land, and you or keep people updated, you know, some way, somehow. I used to do check-ins. I just checked into, you know, you're all over the US, so I just checked in to this particular warehouse. This is what I'm going to be doing today. Even if you don't really like talking to people like that, make sure that you check in and let somebody know where you at. A lot of times, the most that, you know, as a dispatcher as well, they may be the only people that you communicate with throughout the day. So even if you can send in a message through your little Qualcomm system to your dispatcher and say, hey, parked, this is where I'm at. You know, as a dispatcher, I call my drivers, and they call, sometimes they say, they laugh and they say, okay mom, because I'm concerned about their locations and their whereabouts, because being a driver, I know that there are some very unsafe places out here between the shipper and the receiver. You don't know, you're going into different neighborhoods and communities, and there are all kinds of people from different walks of life. So it is not safe, nowhere is safe, but you have to make sure that you do whatever you can do to ensure that you are practicing your safety and awareness as a female driver. So be aware of your surroundings. Don't be walking through the truck stops on your phone and all of this stuff. I've had people, I can tell you situations, I've had guys following me and I've noticed them, and I've had to backtrack back to the truck stop and they think you have to be careful, because people are watching you. They will follow you. They'll follow you to your truck and knock on your door. You know, you never know where you're going. And if you're aware of your surroundings, most of the time you can see when people are watching you. You will notice when somebody is watching you, and you need to pay attention, and don't let any kind of signs that you may get, do not let them slip by you. It's a shame that we have to do this, but we live in an evil world where people come from different walks of life. So we want our trucking sisters to be safe out here on this road. So whatever you need to do to protect yourself, most importantly, be aware of your surroundings. Don't be pre-tripping in the dark. Go into well-lit areas. Make sure, be seen. Make sure that you are seen, and don't be walking through the dark, because when the lights go out, that's when, you know, evil things take place. And make sure that you let somebody know where you are, and check in with somebody, whether it's your dispatcher or your family members or another trucking sister. Make sure you are seen, and make sure someone knows where you are at. That's all for now. We are still trying to work together and put our whatever we can do, put ourselves together to support the family of Karmeshia Thomas. And ladies, we want you to stay safe out there. We will be turning on our lights on Saturday. We'll be turning on our truck lights to show respect for that. We just lost another trucking sister, and thank you to everybody, all of the trucking sisters and divas out there that have chimed in and chipped in to work together to show your love and support for Karmeshia and her family. I'll probably be checking back in with you guys. Hopefully we can get an update on this situation. But ladies, I just want to say, stand strong, and do not let this situation deter you from being a professional driver. That's all, folks. Peace, love, and deuces.